All right. Hello, everyone. This is Crota coming at you, giving you game one in a series. This is going to be Foggy versus WarchiefRight. We see Foggy spawning as the red night elf on the bottom right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, WarchiefRight has spawned as the blue night elf on the top left. 1v1 in what I believe to be a longer series than best of three, but won't give away anything all too much. Now, what can we expect in a night elf versus night elf matchup? That should be a pretty entertaining game. We might see Keeper of the Grove, as bears are relatively powerful as a secondary hero. We might see some Naga Sea Witch as well. Night Elf versus Night Elf, out of all the matches, might be one of my more favorite mirror matches because there are many more ways to take this battle. You can see openings with Naga Sea Witch. You can see tier 3 in Ancient of Lores with bears, Druid Aura, Naga Sea Witch, a tier 2 push, even bears in order to try to counteract even Druids of the Talon to try to counteract the bears. So all of that is within the realm of possibility as Foggy picks up a Circlet of Nobility. Now, so far, it looks like it is a true mirror match, even in terms of the items being dropped. But I do expect these two teams and these two players to start differentiating their strategy in just a little bit. But a Hunter's Hall already coming down here, Hunter's Hall coming down there as well. So we may be going into earlier Huntresses as well. So Huntresses with perhaps a Naga Sea Witch with your pressure, that is a good amount of damage. The ability to pick off retreating units, and all that said and done is going to be a relatively strong opening. However, whoever tries to attack the opponent's base first will have to do it with a very, very big caveat. They have to win a major battle prior to that so that the Moonwells are low, or they're going to be suffering a little bit of extra damage there. All right, Demon Hunter. Oh, Demon Hunter level 2. Scroll of Town Portal doesn't pick up the item, though. Second Circuit of Nobility goes in for WarchiefRight, as WarchiefRight will get to level 2 here. So he gets an additional +2 stat on every single stat there, essentially giving him level 3 without giving him that level 2 mana burn. Demon Hunter comes back around the other way, pretty much going to spot this, like, okay, he sees what is going on here. Additional Moonwell is now trying to be constructed, but it looks like WarchiefRight has pretty much caught his opponent sleeping at the wheel, losing 2 Moonwells while they're in production, and the fact that the Demon Hunter is going to have a hard time, healing later on, as those Moonwells are very, very critical. You can take a look back over here. These Moonwells are in construction already, and the Moonwells are already at 150 mana, ready to go to heal any wounds that may be coming into play. All right, Red Demon Hunter, Blue Demon Hunter, the home field advantage, as I mentioned earlier, not that big of a deal just because of what you already see now. You can see that the Huntress now joining in, so reinforcements coming in relatively quickly, and this is going to turn things around just a little bit more. And really, right now, WarchiefRight is doing a little bit of calculations in his head. He wants to reduce mana from his opponent because he knows that mana is going to be hit points later on from those Moonwells, and that is going to end up hurting just a little bit more. All right, it looks like a Huntress does take down a Wisp, but at the cost of a Huntress. Wow, that is in fact a very big deal. Dust of Appearance now being used. Huntress, will it be able to escape? Both sides fighting it out here. Let's take a look. Will this Demon Hunter? Yes, Scroll of Town Portal. Demon Hunter has to be extremely careful, now being forced to bounce back there. 43 hit points. There is the teleport once more. So both sides using that Scroll of Town Portal, but I will say WarchiefRight has that slight advantage. He drank from the wrong Moonwell. Wow, drank from the wrong Moonwell earlier on. You want to, well, I guess it doesn't really matter since he drained pretty much all of them, but the Demon Hunter, very, very low on hit points. Did he drop those Circlets of Nobility as well? That is actually a big question. I don't think he, well, no, it looks like he did, since the Circlet of Nobilities are in the number 1 and number 4 slot as opposed to the 2 and 4 slot. I don't know how you guys count those slots there, but maybe 1, 2, 3. So 3 and 4, 2 and 3 slot as opposed to the 1 and 2 slot. Hope you guys know what I mean, as you pick up and drop items and it kind of reallocates your inventory for you. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on. Demon Hunter now going into a little bit of an engagement here. You can see that there are Huntresses all lined up at the front, and now the Huntress Hall is taking a little bit of damage. They are not able to push their way through, and what's interesting though is there's a slight surround right there. There's a mana burn, and there you have it. The rest of the units breaking Shadow Meld. All of a sudden, WarchiefRight realizes that he's actually in a little bit more of a dangerous spot as the Naga Sea Witch turns around, getting some cold arrows on WarchiefRight's Naga Sea Witch. Naga Sea Witch is a very, very important unit, and it looks like that important unit may get taken down. There it goes, as the Naga Sea Witch of Foggy now feeling the pressure. Ancient Protector also coming into play. Is Foggy going to be able to hold on to this Naga Sea Witch? That is the important part. Is he going to be able to hold on to his Demon Hunter is also an important question, and Foggy losing the Demon Hunter there. All right, it looked like Foggy was going to have a very easier time, but instead losing his own Demon Hunter in that exchange, trading a level 2 hero for level 1. Not that great, as now you can see the Demon Hunter is attempting to retreat with the remaining units. Naga Sea Witch able to get some cold arrows onto that Huntress there, and if it's able to get enough cold arrows off, it could have gotten a surround and really, really just tipped things in favor, but no. Too much focus on the Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter was able to escape, and not enough focus on the Huntress, which allowed that Huntress to escape. All right. There's some analogy between a cheetah and a lion there. I think, let me formulate my thought. Yeah, even though the cheetah is, the fastest pursuer, one of the ways that prey can actually escape from a cheetah is that the prey can work together with other prey, and you can start splitting the attention of a cheetah. So the cheetah is, oh my goodness, Naga Sea Witch, stuck between, well, a rock, a tree, and a moonwell, so to speak, and he is just going to be stuck there. He needs to get an Ancient of Wonders out. Ancient of Wonders with the Staff of Preservation. That Naga Sea Witch away from that location, teleporting them back to that Tree of Eternity. But that is going to buy a little bit of time for Foggy to try and put pressure here in the middle portion of the map. All right, one little tree right in the middle of the map going to heal a little bit of damage there. Meanwhile, you can see the Dryads are now being added here. The transition into Dryads from WarchiefRight going to be a very big deal. Ancient of War now taken down. Naga Sea Witch sitting at level 2. Double potions of healing. Not going to really save that Huntress that falls there, as we now see 2 heroes and 2 Huntresses going up against the Demon Hunter, who probably wished that Naga Sea Witch was not trapped. All right, little swan staff there in order to save a unit, going to teleport her back to that Tree of Eternity. You can take a look. Bear training already underway. No Keeper of the Grove. So this was Naga Sea Witch without the at tier 2 with no Keeper of the Grove. Are we going to see a third hero? That is going to be the big question there. Foggy deciding to stay at Tree of Ages and now going into Ancients of Lores with Dryads. That may actually come back to haunt him and hurt him. Bears are going to be able to do far more damage than those Dryads will. And in addition, the healing from that rejuvenation is going to really start draining the mana from those Dryads. Luckily, the Dryads abolish magic, only 75 mana compared to 125. As now the Demon Hunter comes in, both sides mana burning right there. Units now need to try and get away. And here we go. There is one Druid of the Claw. Are we going to get a rejuvenation onto, yes, a Huntress? A Dryad should be coming in there to abolish that right there. You see it, how quickly that happens, as we now are looking at a Wisp doing a massive repair job to try and save some units there. The Dryads looking actually focused down and able to do a good amount of damage. The sheer number of units may be the distinguishing factor. 44 over 50 supply, as the Dryads now trying to run away. It looks like a Dryad may get taken down, as the Bear now able to teleport back home. 37 over 50 compared to 44 over 50. The difference may be the fact that the Bears research and the Tech to Tree of Eternity, that it would account for the supply discrepancy, as WarchiefRight just needs this game to go a little bit longer. The tech advantage of those Bears will start to show itself even further the longer this game goes. As we can see, a Bear now going into Bear form there. There's a rejuvenation, as another Druid of the Claw now making its way back out. But the sheer number of units coming back out. Foggy now looking to do a little bit of pressure with Ancient Protectors of his own, towering his opponent after that first failed tower attempt coming in from WarchiefRight. All right. we are now getting Nature's Blessing. So this is a continuation off of that Ancient Protector march that we could be looking at here. But, oh, what is this? WarchiefRight, smart, perhaps thinking that his opponent is not going to have units up on the high ground here, and they are able to get into position. A little bit of a flank, a little bit of falling asleep at the wheel by Foggy. Scroll of Healing quickly saving 2 Huntresses, but how long will they actually survive? You can see that this fight is going to be that last fight here. Whoever wins this fight will win the game. If those Ancient Protectors are able to stay up, then they are going to be able to walk their way over relatively quickly. Dryads, I'm trying to focus on another Dryad there as we see the Demon Hunter continuing the chase. Bear pretty much being ignored right now as the Bears are perhaps going to be able to take down Dryad or two. No, down to 35 hit points, but able to survive. These Bears, one Ancient Protector was taken down here, but it looks like WarchiefRight is gonna, oh, nope, does not lose that Bear and is somehow surviving and living by a prayer, so to speak. All right, Demon Hunter now needs to try to get in position. All right, one very low hit point Dryad. Ancient Protector gonna get taken down. Level 4 now on that Demon Hunter, going after the Dryads. Level 2 now on the Naga Sea Witch, as the Ancient Protectors are gonna get taken out here. Naga Sea Witch and the Demon Hunter trying to finish it off, and there is the GG. WarchiefRight taking game number 1. A very close match going back and forth, but it ultimately those Ancient Protectors didn't do enough damage. WarchiefRight doing the flank from the opposite side, using that high ground to keep his units alive, and that was enough. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed game number 1. Please stay tuned for game number 2.